Hey everyone, I figured do a quick interior update of the RV. I've done a quick video of the RV just after we drove back from Glencoe, which is up near London, about 5-10 minutes away from Pug's house, to be honest. But I haven't showed the back, and there has been a few significant changes that we have done in the RV since we purchased it about 2 months ago. So this is about a 2 month update on the RV. First off, we have removed the dining room. For us, it was very impractical. It did cut down on 3 legal safety belts, safety seats, really, if you want, whatever you want to call them. And we have removed the passenger seat as well for ease of a spot for Shania. So that's her bed up there and her food bowls up there as well. We do still have the passenger seat. It's sitting outside, but it will be put in the basement of the house, most likely tomorrow. Or I'll put it back in here, and next time we come down, we'll put it down in the basement. But in this place, we plan on putting a couch of some sort. We're either going to build back in the original benches that were here. We'd still have them; they're sitting outside. Or we're going to find a small couch. Remember, we got a very small door to fit through, or a futon of some sort that will pull down into a bed. So that's what's going here. Up front, like I said, the passenger seat has been removed, but we still have the driver's seat. So the RV can still be moved quite easily, and where we are, we could have as many people in here as we want, and the cops are not going to bother us. So I'm not really too worried about just having one seat belt in here. Also, the seat belts that were in here, the RV is a 79, and they're just lap belts to begin with. So they're not really the most secure seat belts. To be honest, the seat was just secured to one steel runner just underneath Shania there for the one side, and secured into the plywood on the other side. And the seat belt was actually secured to the actual seat instead of to the floor. Nowadays, I believe it'd have to be secured to the floor and to framing of the actual, going straight down to the frame of the vehicle. So it really shows the safety features lacking that they would have had back in '79. Also, I don't think this thing would have had seat belts for the rear passengers back in '79. That's the fuel filler neck outside. So we have one here, and we have two over here. And like, as you can see, and pretty much really see, we have taken out the bed above the driver and the former passenger seat. Basically for cosmetics, it looks a lot better with it gone. And I kept on bumping my head on it coming in and out of here. Those little brown boxes up top in the right and left corner are actually the original speakers, and they actually still work. The back ones are blown, the front ones are a bit crackly, but they do still work. I do plan on trying to find new speakers to go in their places, and those are all ran off of the head unit right down here. Unfortunately, the head unit I had would not work, and I tried running the stereo off of a constant power feed under the dash, constant feed off the inverter, and off the batteries. I think there was an issue with the inverter. It wasn't providing clean enough power to that wire. I'm not really sure, because what was going on, the radio would turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off constantly. So it really did not work, and it would not work for the radio, unfortunately. Nothing's really changed over here. That light's still there. We're keeping it, obviously. It's a good light to have up front. We do have two little lights above the dashboard, above the mirror, that do work as well. Really, having a mirror in this vehicle is kind of silly. It's not like you're going to be using that mirror to look out the back. You're primarily using your side view mirrors. And those lights do work as well. They're not LED converted. That's another thing. All lights in here, except for those two up front, have been converted to LED. We've also put in two brand new lights in the ceiling. The ones that were up there were in quite poor condition. They're this style right here, but doubles. This one's also being replaced with a double light. It's currently an LED, but it's being changed to a double. $10 at Princess Auto. we got ourselves 2 brand new lights, 10 bucks a piece. So it was well worth it. It was better than buying them online and having to wait for them to come in. Went there, 10 bucks each, and we got them. So that worked out pretty good. Moving to the back, I got more to talk about with the RV shortly. A few of the issues that it does have still, and a few things we definitely need to fix before winter. Back here, originally, it would have been 2 double beds on the bottom, and that cabinet there folds out, and that would have been a bunk bed up top. So you could sleep 3 at the back. You could sleep 2 right here. Hopefully I'm not making anybody dizzy. If I am, I do apologize. And you could sleep 1 up at the very front. I find if I keep on pausing the video, it's too choppy, so I'm going to try and move as slowly as possible. Okay, now talking about some of the issues the RV had when we bought it. All but the stove for propane has been removed. The only propane appliance we currently have is the oven and the stovetop. The propane 3-way fridge has been removed. The hot water heater has been disconnected. It still works. There is still water going through it, so they didn't affect any of the plumbing inside. And the furnace, which would have went right here, has also been removed. We are remedying the situation by reconnecting the propane to the hot water heater. I've already found a furnace, and we have a brand new GE fridge, so I'm not going to change out this fridge. It's really, there's no point to change out this fridge and to go back to a 3-way fridge. So the reasons why they pulled the propane appliances out is for insurance reasons. They would not insure the RV under any plan if it had the appliances in here. That's what I was told by the previous owner. So simply to get insurance, they capped off the line going to the hot water heater. They capped off the line going to the 3-way fridge. Really, with the fridge, they could have just disconnected the propane side and left the fridge. But the fridge may have had issues anyways. I don't really know. And then they removed the furnace and capped the propane line. But the power connections are still there. The thermostat is still here. So everything needed to put a furnace back in is still there. Sorry about that. Shania is running around like a silly dog. Also, we were initially going to remove the bathroom. Instead of removing the dining room, we were going to remove the bathroom. But instead of doing that, we decided to rearrange all this right here. Because the bathroom does work. There's a shower, toilet, and sink in there. I'll show one in a second. Please don't mind the mess. The toilet does leak. It's an easy fix. It just needs an O-ring in the back. The sink works perfectly fine, and the shower works perfectly fine. The sewage tank, or sorry, the gray water tank, whatever you want to call it, is just underneath here. So basically the toilet drains straight into there. There's the mirror, there's me, hey, and that light up there works perfectly fine. There is no leaks at all in the roof. That's just from the humidity of the shower. We have a fly catcher with no flies, which is nice. That's just from the humidity of the shower. We might take this down and find a new material to put up there to clean that up a bit. We'll see. Lastly, there's 2 other things I want to discuss about the RV. It's its 2 30-amp air conditioners. Yes, we got 2 of them. Unfortunately, only 1 works. But luckily, it's the good one. This is a air conditioner heat pump. So this will provide heat and cooling. The second one, which most likely could be fixed, is just a straight up air conditioner. So my idea is, since this one works and it's all the way at the very front, we're going to move this one from the front to the middle and try and find something to fill in the hole in the roof. Build it out and ice and water barrier. Then you can get that rubber roofing material. They say you can put it on a screen and it will float with no leaks. Probably end up using that stuff. Or the second idea is to try and fix that air conditioner and use it. But I don't really like the air conditioner right here at the door. It does cut down on headroom. I'd rather have the air conditioner in the middle. You may be saying, oh, Redneck Brian, or a Redneck's Life, whatever you want to call me, you have a heat pump. Why do you need a propane furnace? The heat pump draws a lot of power. We only really have 15 amps, and I don't really want to have to pay to have an RV plug put on the house. So we only have 15 amps. So to run these correctly, you need 30 amps. We can safely run the air conditioner without blowing the breaker in the house, but we cannot run the microwave. So we're pretty much restricted to running just the heat pump or the air conditioner, or running the microwave. If you need to use the microwave, you got to turn off the heat, or you got to turn off the air conditioning. We do have a 440 big block under here that does run. I'm not going to start it up. To start it up, I got to unplug the mains power and do a few other things. I'm not going to start it up, and it's almost 10 o'clock at night. And it's straight piped, full dual exhaust, and headers. So it's not the quietest of engines. So it does have heat. The heat does work. We actually had it running last night, and we had the heat on. But in the middle of winter, if I can't get this engine started, I don't want to have to remove the doghouse to spray carb cleaner in the engine or starting fluid in the engine, trying to get the engine running, and risk backfires, fire in general, coming out of the carburetor. So we truly do need some sort of alternate heat. I don't want to use electricity, so that's another reason why I don't want to use the heat pump. So we're going to go back to propane and use propane. It's cheap, it's reliable, and it's relatively energy efficient. A lot of people, where we are, they use their stoves to heat. I'm not one for doing that, especially having a dog in here, and having the stove or the oven on is not very safe. And to get around the carbon monoxide issue of having the furnace back in here, we'll just go out and buy a really good quality carbon monoxide detector, and we'll be safe. So I'm not really too worried about that. Let's have a carbon monoxide detector, take the precautions by using propane, and you will be safe. So that's pretty much a quick tour of the RV. If I can find them, I do have a couple pictures of what it originally looked like in here at the back. Up top there on the right, there was a small CRT TV and a stereo system. Really, the TV did work, but it was way too old, so I found a flat screen on the side of the road. It worked perfectly fine, other than having to repair the power button, and that's why we have that. We do not have satellite TV out here. There's no cable TV where we are, so it's just satellite or antenna. We don't really need a satellite out here, so we have a digital antenna on the roof. The RV does have an original spaceship antenna. If you go back to the original video that I first posted of the RV, you can see it there. But other than that, quick update. Yes, we may have taken away the value a little bit by removing the bed, but for us and for us being in here, it will help out us a lot better than having it here. And like I said, you can quite easily put a futon here, and then you gain back 2 beds right there. So I will talk to him later. Please keep redneck like always, and please subscribe and comment.